Say what you will about the flavor of Marvel's Spider-Man crossing over with Magic the Gathering, but a villain-keyed mechanic called CONNIVE that encourages villain creatures to loot is absolute peak flavor, and I will not hear any naysays about it. If you haven't played with CONNIVE before, possibly because Streets of New Capenna was an absolute mess, it's a thing your creatures do, where you, as the controller, draw and discard a card, and if you discarded a non-land card, the creature gets a +1/+1 counter on it. It's a fantastic, just excellently designed mechanic, the kind of thing akin to Scry, where you're baffled to realize how long the game went without this being just a named game action. It enables everything. Modified, mayhem, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. It's incredibly common for new and generally inexperienced players to severely undervalue looting as a game action. Drawing and then discarding a card, sure, you might be going +0 in your hand, but almost always putting a card into your graveyard is not meaningfully getting rid of it. And even in a situation where you are meaningfully getting rid of it, you're getting rid of the worst card in your hand, which is just always an increase in your ability to do stuff. And on top of it all, CONNIVE encourages you to be discarding non-land cards, a thing that, again, can seem like a cost or a negative or a drawback, but is usually, in practice, just a generally good thing. You discard a card with flashback. You discard a card that you weren't functionally going to be playing for 4 or 5 turns anyway. You almost always want to be keeping the lands when you're looting, because smoothing out your mana value is always better than holding on to a 6-drop on turn 3 because you're just really hoping to play that Affectionate Indrik. The cards that you see CONNIVE on in Spider-Man are not going to be the flashiest cards. Doc Ock's Henchman is possibly the most normal card that you've ever seen, but I'm going to be playing a ton of this card in draft because it's a flash 3/2, so I'm going to be trading with my opponent's attackers plenty of the time and fueling my graveyard and ensuring that my mana curve is on point as a result. As inoffensive as Unstable Experiment is, I'm going to play so much of this card because it allows me to enable any creature that wants to be modified that I happen to have. +1/+1 counters are going to be absolutely incredible, and getting them from a card that's not some incredibly weak honor effect that's so specific that it becomes unplayable is going to be absolutely worth the time. And then also, discarding a non-land card in a set with Mayhem? Yes. Please, God, let me. I want to draft this set so badly. Similar to my Cryogen Relic video, my recommendations for CONNIVE cards are not going to be especially specific, because CONNIVE is just a fantastic game action that should be everywhere. It shouldn't necessarily be in every color. The unique combination of getting stronger from looting does fit best in blue, and I guess white. So really, my advice for the Commander players at home is simply don't undervalue CONNIVE cards. They're absolutely incredible. Build your deck around the fact that you have cheap card filtering, which lets you get to the stuff that you want to get to quickly. The primary downside of Commander is the fact that your decks are giant and singleton, and so you can't play the cards that you necessarily want to all the time unless they are your Commander. So play CONNIVE. It enables everything, it gets you the cards that you want, and you can even sneakily play a couple fewer lands, because if you're wanting to discard non-land cards to your CONNIVE effects, well then you're going to be keeping lands more often, aren't you? Every set should have CONNIVE, and if not every set, every deck.